Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Pre-Market News and Views by In the Money Stocks. Today is Friday, June 3rd, 2011. Let's just get right into the markets here because we just had the government non-farm payroll report released, and you can see the futures are plummeting, down about 14 points at the moment. Major disappointment. 54,000 jobs reported that were created for the month of May as opposed to 232,000 in the month of April. And this is a major disappointment. Everyone was expecting about 150, 160,000. Big disappointment here. Market is plummeting. The dollar is also plummeting. So I just want to pull up the US dollar index, which was positive to start the day, and it is plummeting. Whenever you have the dollar and the market plummeting, what is going to bail the market out? A stronger dollar will just make the market weaker, and dollar down, market down. I don't know what's really there to save the market today. So we'll have to wait and see how this all plays out. But markets could very well just break down throughout the day. I'm not sure what the saving grace is going to be here in this picture. Now, a few other things to go over last night. You did have the Shanghai index up, but I don't think it's going to matter now after looking at this economic data that was just released with the U.S. jobless claims just creating 54,000 jobs. So pretty dismal. You have to just look at this market and take it as it really is presenting itself. But it's an ugly move any way you slice it or dice it. And really it's going to be front and center in my opinion at the moment. So again, be cautious today. This is not going to be a good day for the markets. It looks like the markets are really just tanking across the board. Any long trades, you have to have stops. And any short trades, I guess you could just write them down because this is an ugly start to the day. Normally on Fridays we look for what we call a flat to slightly positive day. I'm not sure if we get that here today with this job number. So it's a pretty ugly economic number, and 54,000 jobs. It's really coming in line almost with the ADP report. So it really is a nasty job number. Now, a couple other things we'll get through, and then we'll look back at these futures. But one thing I want to say is quickly that we'll keep an eye on bond yields today. It's going to be very important to see where yields will go. Right now, yields are above 3%, so we'll see where the yields will go today. But yields have caught a bid. There's a lot of resistance around the 3.05% for the 10-year bond yield. But right now, yields are holding up so far. Again, real disappointing number, down about 15 points on the S&P 500 E-mini futures. That is just an ugly decline in the job number, and it's really just showing you that the Fed's QE2 may have just been a waste of time, and we'll see how it all plays out. Now, there's a lot of news coming out of Europe. One thing is that Greece is very close to getting a new restructured deal, even though they just refinanced a year ago, or they were bailed out a year ago. They're going to get a new restructured deal. People are thinking it's going to be a 3-year deal, but who knows? I just have no idea. We'll just see what the economic data out of Europe is, and how it will all play out. Last night, economic data out of Europe was very poor, very weak across the board. It didn't matter what country it was. Germany is still the leading country there, but everything else in Europe is on the verge of contraction, and that's something everyone needs to watch for. So we'll see how that all plays out. But nonetheless, not a pretty picture here today. And the last 4 Fridays, I should say, the markets have been under pressure, which is a very different changing character than what we're normally accustomed to seeing. Normally Fridays are flat to slightly positive, but the market has been much lower. Now, you do have some economic news that will be released, I believe, at 10 o'clock. You'll have ISM, non-manufacturing survey. I don't think that's going to make a dent in this market. Normally, we watch the dollar very closely, and look at the futures are just plunging here, and you have the dollar starting to move higher. So like I said earlier, if the dollar moves up, it's only going to deflate the stock market. The dollar is getting a little bit of a bid, and you could look at the futures just deflating all the way down. Normally we'll go over a bunch of different things. I don't think there's anything to go over today except the fact that the stock market in turmoil today, breaking down sharply, and we could go lower. I was anticipating we could see a little bit of a bounce, but we are breaking through some pretty important technical levels. I guess the S&P E-mini futures will have a little bit of support right around the 1290.25 level, 1290 level. So there will be some support there. But other than that, this thing is just an ugly, ugly sell-off. This is a brutal decline. U.S. dollar index is now surging higher again. Look at the pop here on the U.S. dollar index. That's a big move right there, and that is just deflating this market. The futures are down 17 points. So I'm going to leave it here today. I don't think there's really any need to go over much else. Again, watch how this dollar trades. The dollar moves higher. This market could come down lower. It's an ugly job number. Very, very disappointing. People were prepped for it. I thought it would be baked into the cake, but the number was just much, much worse than expected. And I guess the market is finally working off all this bad economic data that we've been getting recently. So pretty ugly decline here, down 17 points on the futures. And we'll see where we go from here. Again, there is some support on the E-minis right around the 1290 level. So there could be a short-term little bounce around that area. The market could find a little bit of support. A break of that, then it's really down to 1275. So again, two levels for the E-minis you want to watch for, right around 1290 and then 1275. So we'll leave it at that. Ugly job number. Could be an ugly day in the market, and we'll see how it all plays out. Okay, everybody, have a great trading day. Should be some good opportunities out there, at least initially, early this morning. And I will see you all on the charts at 9:30. Take care now.